Good afternoon, everybody. Joseph Hennessy. The name of the channel is The Children. On YouTube, it's Joseph Hennessy 1161. I'm on a spiritual mission that's coming alive. The plan is starting to happen. I'll get into that. Been looking for like-minded souls, rainbow warriors, empaths, starseeds, spiritual beings, humans that are just sick and tired of the matrix, the narrative that's beat into our head. It is coming to an end. And like I state many times, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But we're having events that are catalyzing people, bringing us together. But I'll get to that. So I'm standing in front of Facebook like I do many days. I've made a bunch of videos here in the background, aka the CIA. The easiest way to spy on us is through what? Social media. So I wanted to just spend a minute or two talking about Donald Trump having all those billionaires, adversaries who are against him for the last 10 years at the White House. And I go, what is he doing? Why would he have those guys there? Well, from what I gathered, I get information from some reliable higher sources. Well, he got him to capitulate. He got him to admit that they were doing a lot of bad and a lot of wrong. It's pretty evident that Mark Zuckerberg was censoring people who were telling the truth during the pandemic. And he said he was pressured into doing it, which is BS, because none of them wanted Trump in the White House because they knew what was coming. So he got him to capitulate. Tim Cook, Bill Gates, and it's not going to absolve them for the evil that they've done. This battle is spiritual, and people need to realize that our narrative here is just a bunch of lies. These people will stand in front of their maker, and they will be forgiven, because that's what God does if they choose to do that, and they stay on the right path. These guys are considered to be gray hats, which means they're self-serving. They don't care about humanity, or if they did, there would be no hungry people on this planet. Elon Musk spending billions of dollars to go to space, and we can't go to space. NASA, we can't go to space. It's all a big lie. We lost the technology to go to the moon. Really? But they have the technology to send a rover to Mars millions and millions of miles away. By the way, what did they use for fuel? And for propulsion? How did they get there? All those millions of miles. People need to start breaking it down for themselves and start doing their own research. They lie to us about everything. Trump is playing 5D chess, and everybody else is playing checkers. He's not going to tell you what he's doing, his moves, because then the deep state is going to know what he's up to, what he's going to do. He's got to be here, over there, telling you this and doing that. But everything he does seems to come to fruition and works out. His higher self, I share this, saved his life. 4 bullets over here, 4 bullets over there. That's not luck, that's his higher self. That's the universe, God. So I want to kind of cycle in with that because Charlie Kirk. I said in my last video, I said this is going to be a galvanizing moment for us, hopefully. And I never expected it would be as big as it turned out to be. People all over the world are up in arms and sent Charlie Kirk and his family nothing but love. The Great Awakening is really starting to take off. Charlie Kirk is going to be one of the catalysts of this movement. Doesn't matter what side you're on, this should be about human beings. The man was murdered for talking his beliefs. He never threatened anybody. He wasn't hostile. He was just very well prepared. Anybody who got up in front of him should have been prepared. And they all said, well, he shouldn't have done what he did because he was beating on college students. They knew what they were going up against. But they see the problem is they had no ammunition. They had no knowledge. It's just all pure feelings. Install a feeling in somebody, that's all they got. These people I call NPCs who have no critical thinking, no thought processes of their own. People all over the world are out in arms supporting Charlie Kirk. People on this planet are sick and tired of being sick and tired. The people who run this planet, the deep state, they're the ones who did this. It wasn't that kid. It's always a lone gunman with no help. But there's too many holes in the FBI's story. And this is Trump's FBI, so I don't know what's going on, but that's not my job. My job is just to send love and light to everybody, even the people I dislike and the people who did this. I keep stating the Zionists are most likely behind this. Why? Because I was against Charlie Kirk for the last 3 or 4 months, but I didn't know he had started to change his tune on the Zionists, because a couple of months ago he didn't believe what the internet and what I had been saying about what the Israelis were doing to the Palestinians. He didn't believe it, and he didn't believe that they were withholding all that humanitarian aid, and they were. And they've killed upwards of 300 journalists because they don't want the real story to get out. A friend of mine at the gym who's Palestinian told me that they're just shooting at them now. Target practice. Zionists are just pure evil. They killed Charlie Kirk because he was getting too powerful. The young college kids who are all indoctrinated, not all of them, I take that back, the ones who are indoctrinated are the liberal ones, but you had too many conservative kids in college who were being shut up. And what he did is he had a voice. He opened up their voice, but he didn't stop anybody else from the other side. He let them voice their opinions. But like I said, he was very good at what he did. They should have been prepared, but they weren't. It's just always feelings. But Charlie Kirk's death is just a catalyst for us to come together, not as Republicans or Democrats, but as human beings, as God's children. I never thought it would come to something like this, an assassination of a guy who's not a politician, but had a lot of influence on people. It's got to stop. It's about frequency and coming together, and that's what's happening. People are coming together and they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Charlie's death was not in vain. And like I said, I had problems with him, but he changed course. And I called him a bad name to a friend of mine, and I shouldn't have done that. I have a bad habit of using foul language to describe people. We all make mistakes. He realized his mistake and he started to attune for it. He was taking a lot of money from AIPAC, which is the Jewish Zionist lobby group. So when he started to go against their narrative, well, guess what? They're not going to be too happy. And allegedly, Ali Bibi Netanyahu, mass murderer, came to him and offered him some more money. And he told him to stick his money up his ass. So guess where that got him? In a box. But Charlie knew that this might happen, his higher self. We all choose our life paths. We're put in certain situations to inform people. He's not a martyr. He's not a savior. He's a wonderful soul. His mission was come here to do what he did, to show love. Great family man. Loved God. And they murdered him. 2 kids with no father. So our job is to send everybody love and light, raise our frequency. That's what it's all about. Once we get to that threshold of higher enough frequency, then we're going to start evolving to the fifth dimension. Charlie's death was all part of it, an activation point for humanity to come together. And we're coming together because we win. The darkness loses. The devil loses. And I'm not going to blame everything on the Zionists, because the Zionists are just a fraction of the deep state, the shadow government. You got the Bushes, you got the Clintons, you got the Obamas, you got the Carnegies, you got the Rockefellers, you got Bill Gates, you got Mark Zuckerberg, all the old money family, pure evil. They dictate to us what we're going to do, and we accept it. But it's coming to an end. The matrix is crumbling. What they thought was going to stop a movement is all it's done is made it far more powerful. The powerful light of love always conquers darkness. And guess what? They're going bye-bye. They're on their last couple of moves. They're getting desperate. They thought they could start a civil war. But you know what? The conservatives don't do that. You don't see them running around rioting and burning down buildings like the other side. The conservatives, I didn't say the Republicans, I said the conservatives. People who are God-based. The other side has no God. Transgenderism. Men in women's locker rooms. Mutilating children. Open borders. Black on black murders in Democrat cities. Mass murders every weekend. And another thing, I think Trump canceled the National Guard in Chicago to think that they were off the hook. But watch. Trump is way smarter than the clowns running the show. He works for God. But anyway, don't buy the BS. Send love and light. Wield the sword of Archangel Michael, Violet Ray. And it doesn't cut anybody, it just sends love and light. But we're going to win, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie Kirk's death was a catalyst, the Great Awakening. I hate that it had to happen like that. But we'll see Charlie sooner than you think, because when the veil is lifted and we're back into the fifth dimension, we'll be communicating with everybody that we think we can, even the ones who just passed away recently. So it's coming. Namaste.